Hello Internet people, and hello to the Tiddlerhood. Little video here just to show something that I like to call Tiddler UIDs for unique identifiers. Interesting discussion going on in our Google group about relink versus permalinks, and I just want to show how I would like to see permalinks done in TiddlyWiki, and they are permalinks via what I call these unique identifiers. Let me show you what I've got done. Uh, Maybe in an ideal world, as soon as we create new for a new tiddler and we save that tiddler, the UID gets created automatically for every tiddler at that spot. Um, I'm not quite sure that's really worth it. It may be fine to just say that tiddlers for which we want permalinks, only those ones we need unique identifiers to keep stable links to those tiddlers from external sites. So let's create a new tiddler, and once we have a new tiddler and we save it, from that point I've got a little button here that says, initialize the UID for this thing. Just say it's a very klutzy button at the moment, but imagine a pretty button. And when we init the user ID, that winds up creating a UID field, and this is the first one we create, so it gives it a 1. If we were to create another tiddler, save it, create an ID for it, it gets the next one up, which is a 2, and so on and so forth. As we keep creating new tiddlers, we get user UIDs assigned to them as we assign them with new sequence numbers or new user IDs. Now, if you notice, once a tiddler has a UID, that we get a different kind of button now that says get the UID, which is really, it's just the equivalent of getting a permalink, but a permalink that has a UID in it. Now, since right now I'm working on in this TiddlyWiki off of Google Drive, getting UIDs from here are not really worthwhile. You get here. Let me show you what we get. It's a useless rig. These links are only good for TiddlyWikis that are out there hosted on the web. So let's forget about this TiddlyWiki for a second, and let's go to the one that I do have hosted on the web. And in a TiddlyWiki that's on the web, when you want to get a UID, copy to the clipboard, what we wind up getting is something that looks like this. And this little magic right here, look, I'm standing tall on top of Anders' shoulders here. He showed this to us in the Google groups, and I just thought that was fantastic. So this is totally based on what he suggested, adding on my concept here of user IDs. Now, when we take this and we add it as a link in some other website to reference the TiddlyWiki, or simply paste it as a URL, it opens up the TiddlyWiki directly to that tiddler. So just for testing, let's make sure it works for the other guys. User ID 2, so let's get that copied, pasted, and it's opened up a different tiddler. And let's do the same thing for that guy. So anyway, so there's my view, I guess, of permalinks that are based on unique identifiers assigned to tiddlers for which we do want to allow permalinks, that we really want static permalinks to those guys on the outside. So now, if I were to rename this one to something else and save it, the UID for that thing has not changed. So we can still get, oh, well, we're, we're getting to the version that's not saved on the hosted site, so forget about that. But anyway, that's the idea. Anytime that we go change Tiddler names and then copy that TiddlyWiki to our hosted website, the links that people may have saved before to the same Tiddler with a different name, they still work because they're based on UIDs. Anyway, let's leave it at there. Cheers.